Are we doing this in time? 120 beats per minute?
It's going to be 120 beats per minute. Jaydan, Heather, I'm so excited for you to be here.
I am so excited to be here again!
Today we're going to be playing a game. Are you ready to play the game?
I am so excited to play a game.
So last time you were here, we talked a lot about hydration. And so today we're going to be playing the game that's called the Girls' Night Drinking Water Game. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Never Have I Ever. Uh-huh. And you take a sip if you have ever done the thing. Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. I hate when you pitch this. I was like, you know, I'd love to do an arts and crafts because I really, if it's a game I know, I'm happy.
Right, I know.
But if it's a game that like, I hate being explained rules.
I hate it.
I hate it, and I have friends who love to play like all those fantasy games and
No.
And I try, and I'm like, you know, I'm always game for something, but like when we spent 20 minutes trying to figure out what the premise of this is, I'm like, we've lost the opportunity for fun. It's often enough they don't know what they're talking about.
They don't know what they're talking about, but they think they know, and that's the worst part. That's the worst quality of a person.
Yeah,
when they're not self-aware.
That's why all of this Elon Musk running is very triggering.
It's
for
triggering
me because it reminds me of whenever there's a new game and nobody knows what's going on, and I'm like, I know you don't know.
I know you
don't know.
Should I go first?
Go first. I love this.
Okay, so for the audience, the rules are: we read the card, and if we have done that thing, we take a sip. If we have not done that thing, we say that we haven't done that thing. And it might spark a conversation, it might not, and we'll move on. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay, and some of these are a little dirty and some of them are not.
Fun.
Take a sip if you have ever role-played in bed.
I mean, come on.
You can role-play anything.
Great. I love having stories from my, like, pre-trans life. That was, like, pre-trans. Post-trans, my favorite thing.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys love mommy and I had no idea.
Oh.
I don't mind it.
You don't mind it, yeah.
I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm never going to be a mother. So, you know, why not let it live in
bed.
It's very fun. You know, it's a lot of like, do your homework. Mommy's going to punish you. You know, that kind of stuff.
Okay,
like, I've been saying this a lot lately. I'm realizing that, you know, so they say that like the sexual peak for men is like 18 and the sexual peak for women is like 40. So just imagine how long I've been horny for, Ben. I have been horny for so
right.
Whether it's like Snapchatting or, you know, chatting or meeting up or whatever.
Wait, so you're on Snapchat?
Well, I mean, whenever somebody tells me, are you on Snapchat? I'm like, not for whatever you're, only for dirty shit.
Yes. So Snapchat like started like when I would think I was in college or something. Yeah. I just like don't want my stuff to disappear. I'm like, I made that. Like that's really fantastic. I'm like, I don't
want
like
my stuff to disappear.
I don't like disappearing content.
That's so funny.
And so I was just like, you know what? No. And then I never tried it again.
Okay. Ben, take a sip if you've ever worn a juicy couture tracksuit.
No, and I'm so mad that I haven't. I actually have a story about this.
Oh, great! Oh my god, how fun!
In college, I was very into the humor of a juicy couture tracksuit, and I thought it was so funny. And like a lot of a lot of friends had like the juicy sweats, and like in high school, I thought it was so funny. My friends and I went to the juicy couture store, and I was like, I want to try some on. Like I want to go and try some on. And my friend in college was like, I don't think they're gonna let you.
Wow!
I know.
Wow!
And I was like, "Why? It's a dressing room. Like I should be able to just go in and like try on the sweats." And she was like, "Yeah, but like I don't remember even who this was, but like she was like, "Yeah, but like you're a guy. Like you can't go in and like that's a women's like you know what I mean."
She was not a friend. I don't know who she was.
I don't remember.
She was not a friend.
I know, but I haven't worn a juicy. Maybe I should do that on my show.
You should. Absolutely.
Wear a juicy sweatsuit. I don't know why, but I just feel that like there were certain like girls in high school that like really admired juicy couture.
Yeah, I went to Catholic school, so we always wore uniforms.
And
so
how do you feel about that?
You know, I mean, it's a great equalizer. I think, you know, like you know, you can style yourself slightly.
But did you want to wear like what the girls were wearing?
Probably probably, but I didn't know it.
I see.
You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
It was more that I didn't know how uncomfortable I really was.
One of the stories I'm going to tell on my tour, because I'm doing pink and purple merch. So there's merch for the tour, and it's pink and purple, which is I already said that. And I'm going to tell a story about how, as a kid, my sister was on a soccer team, and her soccer team was called the Pink and Purple Superstars. And, like, I just wanted to be a pink and purple superstar.
And you are, Ben.
I know, and the story goes, like, I'm gonna say, well, I guess I'll give away the line, but I'm gonna say and look at me now, and then I think people are gonna I think straight people are gonna laugh because they think it's just about being gay, and I'm gonna be like, no, you're laughing because you think I meant it because and now I'm gay, but what I really meant is I'm a pink and purple superstar.
Absolutely,
there's a difference.
Oh, this one is very funny.
Okay.
Take a sip if you purchased cryptocurrency.
Oh, I did not ever.
Good.
I couldn't
Cheers
afford it.
to that. Cheers to that.
I may have if I had the money, but who has the money for that?
It
wasn't that
a
at one point,
scam.
Right? Yeah.
I was just reading in the Times. That's one of the things that of course, Trump and all of them are deregulating, the protections, and I'm like, people are gonna lose a lot of money.
Yeah, right.
We're on a crash course to hell. Take a sip if you had a bad experience with edibles. Stories encouraged.
Oh, a gummy counts, right?
Yeah, that's an edible.
You're like, yeah, you
Did it? You know what? I know what the story is. The edible made you stupid. Ben.
I don't think I've had anything that's really bad, but I do think in high school one time on 420 I thought it would be funny. I didn't do it because basically my friends told me I would get in trouble, but I was gonna bring just regular brownies and sell them and just be like, hey, you want a brownie? $5, and people were just
I'm sorry. The way you describe your friends, they all suck. If I were you in high school, we got to do that. I'm in. I'm going in. Let's fucking get the Dolly Parton brownie cake thing.
Yeah. I remember one time I brought a flask to school as a water bottle, and my friends were like, that's paraphernalia.
I think you had great ideas.
Yeah.
I think you had really good ideas.
You know what? You're totally right.
I think you should write them down after this episode and go and do that.
To high school.
I think you should just do them
again. You know what my best idea was in high school? I was the student body president, so it was partially my role to facilitate the choosing of the homecoming theme. And this was in famously 2009 when Britney Spears had the Circus album, and so I was like, well, we should be Circus. This is the problem. I went to a predominantly straight high school, and literally they came in and they were like, we want to do eras, but not Taylor Swift eras, because this was 2009. They wanted to do the Mesozoic Era.
It's first of all, you said you went to a predominantly straight high school. I would love to meet the person who went to a predominantly gay high school. Everyone was gay. I was the only one who wanted to, just have normie sex, normal heterosexual sex. But everybody was gay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Yeah. What you're describing is it hits along that line of because you as a homosexual knew how to do, with a vision, you would have done Circus with such class and such elegance. But these straight kids, they had no idea. To them, it was Okay,
take a sip if you've ever been to a psychic.
I don't think I have.
I have been hypnotized.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been...
What was that like?
So I decided, as a teenager... No, I do remember.
You remember being hypnotized?
I think I remember little moments. Happened? So they had the fortune teller at the high school, grad night kind of thing that they do in my town so that kids don't go out and drink after graduation. And then they did a hypnotism show, and I was like, I can't get hypnotized because I wasn't out yet. And... there was a story.
Absolutely.
There was a story about a kid at another high school who kissed a boy or sat on someone's lap or you know what I mean? And I was like, well, I'm not doing that.
No, of course. And smart.
So, I know. Literally
very smart.
Survival skills. And so,
truly.
And closeted people can't get hypnotized, and we don't talk about that enough.
I do have to just pause, and since you said you're trying to do more sketch stuff, I have to pause and just give you an idea for something, which is guy who wants to be hypnotized, but just keeps going, oh shoot, but I haven't come out yet. I also, I said I have not gone to a psychic. I have gone to a psychic before.
What's the story?
It was in college, so I went to school in Fredonia, which is near Buffalo, and there's this area where a lot of Wiccan witch people and psychics all go to. But so they came and they were doing one of those welcome things. And I went to this woman and I forget if I had my palm read or what it was. But she said, you want to be successful. You want to be, you know, like you want to be successful enough that fame is a possibility. And I was like, yeah, I do. She goes, it's going to happen, but it's not going to happen when you think. It's going to happen much later in life. And so in some way, I mean, she could have just been saying anything. Yeah. I was just like, that's given me enough delusional self-confidence to keep going with my stupid art.
Isn't it funny how that happens? But then did you tell her anything like before?
No, I told her nothing.
Yeah.
No.
One time, that's like similar to, it's kind of similar. When I first moved to New York, I was walking around Union Square, and this woman like stopped me, and she goes like, I just have to tell you, like, you have the brightest future. Can I please like tell you a little bit about it? And I'd go, no thanks, bye. And she was like, no, but it's really like, I have to tell you. And I was like, I just thought she was asking for something or whatever. Yeah. And now I think about that all the time too. I'm like, so funny. But if I had just listened to what she said, I would know. And
you know, like, like, listen, take the message what you want from her, because she probably just was like, look at this faggot. I know he wants to be famous.
I know. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on my YouTube channel, Ben Hawes HQ.
I love being here.
Woo!